Hi, I'm Dana. I was raised in a very loving home with my two parents and my brother. We were brought up Catholic, so I did all the sacraments, but I never really understood the meaning behind any of it. I would pray, but only when I felt like I really needed something, and then I'd feel guilty afterwards, like the whole concept of using God as a vending machine. So when I'd feel guilty when I'd pray, I just kind of thought, you know what, this isn't for me. Then I went to college and I was a nursing major, so I was inundated with science and so much knowledge and brilliant professors around me. And I had one professor that I really respected that talked about death and biologically how that happens to your body. And I remember just him talking about it in such a godless way. And I figured that's it. You just die. There's nothing after that. It's just kind of like, you go blank. And it made me sad, but at the same time, I felt like, he was really well respected and smart, so I believed him. And I was an atheist for a few years, just frustrated with the world. Then at my great aunt's funeral, my family was all sitting around and I was sitting at a table with my grandmother, and I remember her and a couple family members were talking about God, and I proudly said I was atheist like an arrogant college student would. And I remember she put her hand on my shoulder and she said, "Sweetheart, one day you will believe in God." And I don't know what happened, but I went in the bathroom and I cried and I couldn't explain why. But I think in that moment something kind of sparked and I started really thinking about God and kind of becoming more agnostic, I guess. I wanted to believe that there was something, but I didn't know what. Then I met who is my now husband, Luke. I remember after probably our third date, he asked me to go to church with him, and I thought, okay, this is weird, but he's a really nice guy. I really like him, so I should go, even if it was just to see him. And it was a very unorthodox church, at least in my experience. They had loud music, and it was in an old movie theater in Philly, and the pastor wore jeans and an Eagles jersey, and I felt really overdressed, but so welcomed, and it was such a breath of fresh air. And at the time, my husband had just gotten a job with the government, and he had to go to an academy in Quantico. So he left, and I kept driving 45 minutes to go to this church every Sunday, and I just felt like I was getting deeper and deeper into God, and I loved it. Then after he graduated from the academy, we moved to Laredo, Texas, and that was quite an experience. It was the first time I was ever gone from my family, and I needed to lean into something, so it was really nice. There was a little ladies' Bible study that happened every Tuesday, and we'd meet and we'd have tea and coffee and we'd talk about God. And it's the first time I ever really understood what fellowship was and how important it was, and it made a big impact on my life. Then after 5 years of being in Texas, we were relocated to New Jersey, and that brought us here. We have 2 children now, 1 and a 2-year-old, Axel and Quinn, and they are amazing. They exhaust me, but they're wonderful. I also do the ladies' Bible study on Tuesday mornings, and we started studying Gideon, and I remember turning to someone and saying, "Who is Gideon? I never heard of him." And she said, "Oh, he was a warrior, but just kind of wait." And I started reading his story, and I just identified with it so much, which was such a shock because I'm not a warrior. I'm just a stay-at-home mom. And he just was so unequipped, so lost, so bottom of the barrel, and I feel like that's me. I don't know how to be a Christian mom. I don't know how to raise my kids. I'm the first in my family to become a Christian, and I just feel lost. And in reading Gideon, I've learned that you have to be 100% obedient. I feel like I've only been giving God part of me, not all of me. I don't want to give him that control. I'm afraid. So this is me trying to be obedient and put it all out there for him, and just, let the Holy Spirit lead me in motherhood, because I feel like he has to work in me, and He's the only one that can. I am ready to be wholeheartedly obedient to Jesus Christ.